when you clip it together, if it's the end and then the beginning like this, you'll go to your clamp, and then on these fences you got 3 wires that I think is called poly braid or poly wire, I don't remember exactly, and then one that the red one's called turbo braid, and it's got 7 strands of metal versus these with 3. So always clip your clips to that red wire. It carries your electricity better.
Okay, so see, you're just gonna overlap 2 or 3 feet and then hook to that metal clip on the end of this one. Now the metal clip for that one is on the other end, so you're gonna hook to that wire that's got the red woven through it. It's the 3rd wire on this particular one. It has more wire filaments in that. You see that orange tag on that ewe? She's one of the original Hopping Brothers ewes that I bought. She would be, I bought those 8 years ago, and she would be a coming 2-year-old at that time, so she's a coming 10-year-old ewe right now. There's another one over here, right there. She looks up, she's got an orange tag. There's another one right there. Got an orange tag. You'll see a few of them now starting to get a little thin. We've culled some as their teeth got wore down and got bad. But I mean, really, for 10-year-old ewes, they're holding up pretty good and they're still having babies. Okay, so this is the electrical charger system we use. This is solar panel, just tied or screwed down to the top of this tub. I'll open this. That's a Speed Right fence charger. It happens to be a 6,000 joule. There you can see the controller, the battery. You can make this. We just made this solar panel, probably got off Amazon, controller. So it's nothing special. But you might want a little bigger charger than what you can buy, you know, on some of the systems that's got their own panel with them. So this 6,000 Speed Right 6,000 6 joules works pretty well. Okay, and this is the ground system. I just go over this T handle. I don't know, we bought that from maybe King Cove or somebody. And Travis says it doesn't take much to ground this system, especially now it's a little wetter, but it works real well. You just pull the rod out and take it with you. Now, if you notice, there's different places that'll on that post that you could run your wire. So we had changed these, and I have a video if you look back far enough where we're adjusting the wire because it was too low and it was going to get into the forages. So we put it on these 4 to get it up off the ground a little bit. You really don't need it so low. And Travis said the lambs, you know, they rarely go under it, but if they do, at least they don't break the wire. So you'll want to make sure if you get some of this smart fence, you know, you may have to make that adjustment. So one of those posts were broken down there. It happens occasionally, and you can buy extra posts. We have them, but you know, you got to take it apart, thread this wire back through the holes of the post and everything. We just haven't stopped using it where we can do it, so we just put a little step-in post right there. And then so we come off the old pin, the 2 parallel pieces, let's just call it the north side and the south side, and you come down here And so you'll want to walk somewhat straight now so that you can meet this side to the other side. You know, so you don't come up just 10 foot short. If you do, you can just pick up the end of it and kind of bend it around and make it work. And but you know, you don't want to be too far off and create more work for yourself. You probably figure it out as you go. So you see this part of the smart fence, the handle part has broken, and it happens occasionally. I think it happened maybe once before. Travis put these brackets on it and bolted it back together with some super glue and things. But you can buy that orange piece new. What'd you say it was?
Well, with shipping to us, I think it's $28.
$28, you know. You just have to take everything apart. It's a little time consuming, tedious to put it all back together. But it's not, you can buy all the different parts of this that break or wear out. Making another piece of that parachute cord for the anchor for this stretch.
It's nice and dry, you don't really need to do this. Wet.
But you know, this smart fence is really well, it's kind of revolutionized our grazing system, because now, you know, this is the crop field and now it's a livestock field, and you could do this with cattle with one poly wire. But you try to start, you know, running 3 or 4 for sheep or goats, it just gets too time consuming. But doing it this way, I mean, we can just move them wherever we want. It's maybe more like the electric netting, except it's easier to use. The stretches are longer. I think it's about twice as long of a smart fence stretch, and it's I believe it's cheaper. It's cheaper per foot. And it gives you a workout, I'll tell you. Travis pretty much takes care of this on his own. He says it's probably averaging about an hour and a half a day. Some days takes 30 minutes. Some days you got a problem, takes 2 or 3 hours. So when we just decided to look at it and figured, labor-wise, he's using an hour and a half a day for daily moves. We thought we would get by with 2-day moves here, but it just hasn't worked out that way. If we had more forage in a normal year, it would have grown more. Yeah, would have been 2-day moves easily with this 5 acres. So, as will sometimes happen, you know, you come up 20 yards short. Now, in this case, we happen to have an extra smart fence handy for that. You could also go over to this one that you ran, pull it up 2 or 3 posts back, bend it around here, curve it, make it to this end. Because you're never going to come out just perfect, just how it is. Alright, so we come down to this corner, the southeast corner, and we'll let them into this corner. And then the mineral can just be drug across. The water tank's up there, it can just be drug across. There comes the first one moseying through. They'll act like they're really starving. And of course the rest of them are going to follow up here pretty quick now once one comes through. It's like sheep. Where one goes, they all go. And here they come. Doesn't look like that many when they're spread out there grazing, and when they come running through the fence it looks like a lot. And then when they bunch up, don't look like that many again. So moving them doesn't take any time, it's the fence setting up. And we took a little more time here doing the video. Travis is putting up that salt mix now. We're still using with the Redmond's conditioner and baking soda. It's a bag of salt, bag of conditioner, bag of enticer. We're using either soybean meal or DDG. And then about a quarter bag of baking soda. That's what he's putting in now. And that should last him, I think, 2 to 3 days. We get the intake that we're looking for. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it, but I tell you what, that smart fence, you ought to be able to take that and graze someplace on your neighbors if they want you to graze something. You know, do some cover crop grazing maybe in your neighborhood. You can just take your sheep, yeah, it works for goats also, and pretty much take them wherever you want them. So here's where they've already grazed, you see. They've got some hoof impact there. They haven't really churned it up like a herd of cattle. So we'll see. Of course they're fertilizing it as they're on it. You're only going to get the amount of fertilizer that their feed intake is. So if you look at this and you say maybe, let's call it 500 pounds of forage an acre there, maybe. Well, you're probably going to get 400, 450 pounds of manure an acre spread back out there if they ate all of it. So it's not a terrible amount just because we don't have that much forage here. Now if we were looking at 2 ton an acre forage, and I would say, you know, I mean, you're going to get almost that back out of your livestock grazing it. as far as fertilizer. So you see there, the 6-volt dual chargers putting out 8.5, 9. There we go. I wasn't getting on the wire good. But close to 9,000 volts by this fault finder. So you realize why they don't want to get out. So, yeah, you see that's running about 9,000 volts from that 6-dual charger. So, yeah, you see why they don't want to get out on you. So Travis is feeding the guard dogs just every day here on the ground because he's over here anyway moving the fence. And so he said he just puts one bigger pile, enough for 2 dogs there, and they keep the sheep away easier than putting 2 smaller piles, one for each dog, and then they've got to guard both piles. And the sheep started over here, and then they kind of realized that they weren't going to get anything unless it was just the leftovers after they're done, maybe. So now you take the old fence down. And this is a little tedious and labor intensive. And there you have it. Now we were probably 2.5 hours doing this since I was videoing it and everything, but it's normally a little quicker. We had a problem with the water tank there and a few issues, and that's just part of it. So, but Travis thinks it's taking an average of an hour and a half a day. But it's saving, well, at least a bale of hay a day, so probably more actually, and that's $100 anyway, plus the time involved to bring it over here and then roll it. I guess it's not bad wages. Hey, thanks for tuning in, and you know, if you like this, let me know. If you got questions, put them in the comments. I try to answer everybody. This has got fairly lengthy. I may cut it into shorter videos once I get to editing it and see how it fits. So, hey, try it for yourself. Let me know how it works.